In the immortal words of Gumby, Merry Christmas, damn it. Holiday season is upon us. That means holiday baking season is upon us. And that means that we're going to, once again, make a recipe that I've only made a couple times before, which previously turned out to varying degrees of success. Always tasted good, looked a little messy. So what are they? These are chocolate pear scones. And what do we have for this? 150 grams of all-purpose flour, a pound of diced firm pears, your choice, this is dealer's choice, quarter cup of dark chocolate morsels of your preference. I like these really chunky ones here. Quarter cup of heavy cream. We've got half a cup or 50 grams of sugar. Maybe that's 50 grams. Go for 50 grams because I don't remember what the volume conversion is. And Bonbon has just taken down some of my Christmas decorations while we're talking here. We've got 6 tablespoons of cold butter. I diced it up. I put it in the freezer. We've got some baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons, half a teaspoon of table salt, and an egg. And we'll need an egg later for the egg wash upon this. Now, this is another one of those damn recipes that says, put it on the stand mixer. Put it on the stand mixer. Well, I don't have a stand mixer, so I'm going to have to use a little ingenuity. And here we go. Since Bonbon's really excited, Bonbon's one of my cats, about taking the Christmas-themed kitchen towels off my oven handle here, I have taken them off and stowed them, so she will no longer interfere with our progress today. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take our diced pear and roast it for 20 minutes at 375 degrees. Put it on a little parchment paper here. That's what they tell me. I believe them. And here we go. See you in 20 minutes. And roasted. Big difference. Huge difference. I left them in a couple extra minutes because, the last time I did this, they still were a little on the juicy side. One of the troubles I had last time was they're a little moist. Okay, so the next thing we're supposed to do is take these and stick them in the fridge. Let them cool. Coming up shortly here, we're going to use my modified method to do this without a stand mixer. And this is not one of those times where I can merely stand and mix it. I have to use my brain. Ugh. Okay, now, since we don't really have a stand mixer, and creaming this and making this all nice would be great. Also, they say that, you don't want to overmix it, which is true. I'm going to, as they do recommend, whisk the dry ingredients together, minus the sugar. Now, as we all know, maybe we all don't know, maybe most of us know, if you give a shit about what I'm doing here, you probably already know, that British scones or whatever are near cousins of American biscuits, all right? And most recipes that involve you making American biscuits or British scones involve you doing something calling rubbing in the flour. So here I am whisking the dry ingredients. They recommended I do the sugar. I'm going to put the sugar in after because that could get a little messy. Okay? So that's the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. And now I'm going to take all these chunks of very cold flour. Might have done better to make them even smaller than they are. And the idea is to use your fingers to mush the flour and the butter together until you get something that looks a little, like they say, like sand. I've never actually gotten it to look like that. I've made good scones. I've made scones that have worked before, but I've never, you know how it is. People who know what they're doing, they do this crap for a living. It always looks a little better than you do at home. Doesn't mean you don't make nice stuff at home. So I'm going to rub this in for a little bit, and then when we're done with that, we're going to add some of the other ingredients. It's all mixed up properly. So stay tuned. Okay, so we got that. That's close enough for my purposes. Add all the other stuff, all the other wet stuff. Sugar, which is, depending on which law you believe, is either a dry ingredient or a wet ingredient. Some heavy cream. Let that come out. A little bit of our now cooled roasted roasted pears, and of course, an egg. So, once again, in lieu of an actual stand mixer, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to mix it. So here we go. I'm going to have to actually get in there and use our mitts on this, but I want to get it started with a spoon, just because it's a little pretty. Now the idea is not to over mix this, because you don't want it, the butter to be too cold, right? Okay, so I'm going to do this here. It's beginning to get somewhere. I'm going to mix this up by hand a little bit. And then, last item up for bids, mix in the chocolate morsels. Here we go. A little gross, but that's the way to do it, right there. Now, with that, what I'm going to do is add a little bit more flour. This does seem a little wet, definitely. And then, we're gonna portion these out properly as I sort of deal with all of this lovely stuff on my fingers. So give me a moment here. We're working it out. Okay. Now we turn it out on a floured surface here. Ain't this grand? And I'm going to try to get this all tight. One of the other problems we have is that I have a very small kitchen. A lot of people call this a galley kitchen. I call it a small kitchen because it's small. So my kneading surface is this thing I've set on top of my range, because I don't have anywhere in this kitchen to just sort of go after shit like that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kneading a little bit more flour into this, getting a little drier. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put this whole thing on a sill pad lined baking sheet. I'm going to cut it in 6. Okay, so this is it. This is kind of a what we're going for here. Get all that flour on there, because the butter has softened up a smidgen. Okay, be right back. Okay, so now we need a bench scraper, which I called forever a dough blade, because in my restaurant career, that's what everybody called it. They called it a freaking dough blade. Throw a little bit more of that flour on there. And there we go. So now this is going to be our scones, and the object is to cut them into sixths. So go right down the middle there. Is this the most elegant cut? I don't know, but it's done. I'm going to stick these in the fridge for about a half hour, let them firm up, and then we're going to bake them. Okay, not only do I have these in the fridge, I have these in the freezer. It might take a little extra time in the oven, but one last little detail: egg wash. These are supposed to be glossy and pretty. I don't know. I don't think of scones, biscuits as glossy and pretty. I think more to the point, you're supposed to put butter, right? But the recipe that I'm using, and I've used twice in the past, says you do the egg wash. Didn't turn out bad the last time, but it still seems a little strange to me. Okay, so here we go. This last one, this one right here, this one might be the one that sticks together the least. I had a little trouble when I separated them so that they wouldn't mush together one another in the oven. Okay, so now back to 375 for the oven here. We are going to put these critters into the oven for 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to turn them once halfway, and there it is. So see you about half an hour. And there they are, pear and chocolate chunk scones. I'm going to go ahead and let them cool for a bit, then I'll put them on a plate for our final presentation. All right, they're on a cooling rack. It's going to be a while before they're ready for a plate, but those are they. I snuck a little bit of one. They taste pretty good. They hold together better and they look a little better than the last time I made them, so I'm going to put this in the win column. These are Pear and chocolate chunk scones from the Smitten Kitchen website. I'll share the link with you all when I post this. And once again, Merry Christmas, damn it.